Welcome back to the Crooked River and Eastern Railroad and another Crooked River production. So this will be part 2 of the river pour. I'll probably have a part 3 just so you know, and that'll be more of the details and adding some ripples and things like that and kind of tie things in and hopefully have the bridge back in and all that fun stuff. So we'll see how that all goes though. So hopefully you're enjoying this whole series of the River Valley build. So let me reposition the camera. I'll show you how I'm getting started here and we'll move along. So stand by. Alright, so here we have the 2 empty cups. I have marked them for, originally I was going to do 8 ounces. I marked them down to 6. So I have my resin. I had it in some warm water to kind of warm it up. Okay guys, little update. In theory, this was a good idea, mixing all this in the cups. Execution, not so much. So I'm putting, this is 20 milliliters, 30 milliliters is roughly 1 ounce. The cups I'm using I'm going to mix a 12 ounce. This is 18 ounces, so I figured I'd mix 12 ounces in it. Gives me room for paint, gives me room to mix. So I was going to do a 6 of resin, 6 of hardener, mix them together and add all these drops of paint to get to this color. Like I said, good theory. Did the math. I was going to need probably 300 some drops of like the murky water. It's going to be such a waste of paint. So don't do this. Don't do it this way. Take yourself, figure out how much do you think you need. I'm going to start with 12 ounces. I can always do a second pour if I need to add. So what I did instead was I just took 12 ounces of warm water and I just started adding paint to water. Resin's it's going to be clear. So when you add the paint to the clear, it's going to change the color. So why not try it with water? First of all, way more economical. I wasted a lot of resin and hardener doing it this way. Live and learn. That's why I'm telling you this. So I did that. I decided just to add the drops of water to try to match this color all over again, because the other idea was basically a wash. I used the same colors, tried to use the same idea, but slowly added them in to get to this color. And I was able to mix up in water. I feel like I got it pretty darn close. So I marked everything down on paper, how many drops of this, how many drops of that. It is not 300 drops of this and 25 drops of that, and so it was way better idea to do it that way. Don't know why I didn't think to do it to begin with, so maybe some of you guys wouldn't have done it the way I did it to start with, and just for whatever reason this sounded like a really good idea. Enough of me rambling. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour this epoxy. I'm going to start mixing these colors up and we're going to get this thing poured. So stand by, let me turn the camera and we'll get mixing. Okay, so I have equal amounts of hardener and resin. I set the hardener off to the side now. I have my formula for my color mix. So I'm going to start adding the drops of this color in, and we're going to get this all mixed up. So kind of bear with me as I go through here. colors in there, so let's get these mixing up. Now you want to get this mixed up real good. All the way through. And my hardener. I really want to get that hardener mixed in. If you don't get it mixed well, you will have resin that will never really fully harden if you don't get it mixed well. So don't rush through this step. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, and I'll be back once I get it all mixed together. Okay, so once you get this mixed up real good, like I said, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes, now you want to get over there and get it poured. So let's run over to the river and we'll go ahead and do that. So stand by, let me turn the camera. Okay, here goes nothing. So here you'll see me very slowly and meticulously pouring out the epoxy. Being very careful not to get it anywhere I don't want it. If you happen to get it on any of the rocks, you will see wet spots when you're all done. It will dry that way. Same thing with anything else. So just take your time with it. Don't rush it. I actually did this on my live stream on Track Tuesday show on June 28th. I will put a link in the description below for that. If anybody wants to go back and watch that, it was a very fun show. I had Derail Darrell come on with me, and he watched the chat for me so I can answer any questions live while I was doing this. He was a very big help. He's very knowledgeable. He's done several of these pours himself, so he was also there to help keep me in line as far as not making any mistakes or missing any steps as I went along. So I'm going to start pouring this side of the island. Just be very careful not to hit any of your trees or scenery on the side and end up with any of those leaves or material in the resin. It's going to be kind of tough to get it out. So just like I said, take your time, very meticulous when you pour. You have time to do this. You don't have to rush. You'll see me using a popsicle stick here to kind of push it to where I want it up against the backdrop there. If you go back and watch the series, for those of you that have been following along with the River Valley Build series, you'll see how I protected the backdrop with a piece of plexiglass. So if you're interested in seeing that, go back. I think it's a video or two back in the series. But yeah, you can move this stuff around a little bit to where you want it. And it comes out really nice. Yeah, you can already see the reflection of the backdrop in the epoxy. So the one suggestion I can give, a recommendation I can give, is to make sure you have mixed enough epoxy. Now, thankfully, I had plenty on hand, so I can make another batch. And you do have time. You'll see me pouring a second cup. I had time to go off camera and make this up. And because I have the formula already written down, I was able to get the correct color. It's maybe a tiny bit of variation in it, but that's okay. You'll see me kind of running it up through the first cup that I poured just to kind of mix the colors in case there was too much of a variation. Again, being careful not to get it on anything I don't want it on. So I will be doing a third cup here shortly as well. So again, that's a recommendation that I can suggest, is to make sure you have enough on hand and mixed up, maybe using a larger cup. Although I will say the smaller cup was nice as far as control. Here's that third mix. So again, I'm going to mix that around in with the others to kind of, just in case there is any variation, just in case. And then, you can get a little bit of color variation in there to kind of give it a realistic look. Water does look different in different lights. So when you're all done pouring this and you're happy with the way it looks and you have enough in there, you're going to want to look for air bubbles. Now, I did not show this on the video, but I took a straw and very gently blew warm breath through the straw onto the bubbles. The CO2 in your breath will break those bubbles. If you don't do that, you will have bubbles in your pour when it is set. So you'll see that. So you don't want that. So make sure you don't skip that step. But yeah, with that being said, I'm very happy with the way it's come out. There will be a part 3. In part 3, we will go into more details. I'll add some ripples, put the canoers in, I have some fishermen I might put in, some stuff like that, little detailed things. And so stay tuned for that. I just want to say thank you to Derail Darrell again for coming on live. So with that being said, bye for now.